Hello and welcome to another Tunisian crochet tutorial. Today we will be making the mustard and Co Tunisian crochet blanket. So this is blanket which is made from corner to corner. So we are not using rows or panels. We will be starting in one corner, increasing stitches up to the middle, and then we start decreasing. So you've got the main color, which for me was mustard, and then some other colors which are alternated with. So in total I used 3 other colors, but you can use as many as you like according to how you like to customize your blanket. The main stitches that we are using are Tunisian simple stitch right at the beginning and at the end and in the middle, and then stripes of Tunisian knit and Tunisian purl stitches, and this will be alternated for the whole width of the blanket. For my sample, I use the Women's Institute yarn, which is widely available in the UK. This is Aran weight or worsted weight yarn. It's somewhere slightly thicker than worsted, but not bulky. And I've listed on my blog and in the pattern that you can purchase on Ravelry or Lovecraft shop. In my Lovecraft shop, I mentioned some alternatives, so you can have a look and see whether you would like to substitute the yarn if it's not available in your country. And the blanket is made using 7mm Tunisian crochet hook with about 40 inches extension, which is about 100 centimeters. Without further ado, let's dive in. So today I'll be using Stylecraft Special Chunky for this tutorial in 2 colors. So the cream would represent the mustard in my sample, and I'm going to be using blue to as the complementary or the alternating color. Okay, so we first start with a slip knot, like so, and we chain 2. 1 and 2. We then turn the 2 chains around and work into the back bump. So we insert the hook from front to back under the back bump, yarn over and pull up a loop. So we've got 2 loops on our hook, and we then continue with a standard return pass. So we will yarn over, pull through 1, and yarn over, pull through 2, and this is the first row. For row number 2 we will make 1. So for this project the increased stitch is Tunisian full stitch. So Tunisian full stitch is worked between 2 stitches into the space from front to back, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then we will work an end stitch. So end stitch is worked under the 2 strands of yarn of the last stitch on the side. So you will insert your hook under both of these, yarn over, pull up a loop. Okay, so now we have 3 loops on the hook, and we will work standard return pass, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 times. Row number 3 we will again increase 1 stitch, so we will work between the first 2 stitches from front to back, yarn or pull up a loop. Then we will work Tunisian simple into the middle stitch, insert the hook under the front vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and work another increased stitch. So from now on, from this row 3 up to the point where we start decreasing, we will be always increasing at the beginning of the row and at the end of the row 1. So each row we have increase of 2 stitches. So again we will work Tunisian full stitch and an end stitch and standard return pass, yarn over, pull through 1, and then yarn over, pull through 2. For row number 4 we will continue in the established pattern. So we will work the increased stitch first, and then 3 Tunisian simple stitches. We've got 3 stitches in between, so we'll work Tunisian simple stitch into each up to the end. Then we will work another increased stitch and an end stitch. So at the end of forward pass for row number 4 you will have 7 loops on your hook, and then you will continue with standard return pass. Okay, for row number 5, again we will work an increase stitch, Tunisian simple stitches up to end, increase stitch and an end stitch. So I'll meet you back for row number 6. Okay, so on row number 6 we will start working the basic row pattern repeat, where we start alternating Tunisian purl stitches and then work Tunisian knit stitches, and this is worked in one color. Okay, so again we start the row number 6 with an increase, but then instead of the Tunisian simple stitch that we worked in this small triangle in this section, we will start with Tunisian purl stitch all the way up to the end of the row, then work an increase stitch and an end stitch. So Tunisian purl is worked by bringing the yarn forward. So you want to have your yarn on the front of the hook. You insert the hook from right to left as if for Tunisian simple stitch. Then you release the yarn, yarn over and pull up a loop. Again slowly you bring the yarn forward, insert the hook from right to left under the front vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop. And you'll repeat the Tunisian purl stitch all the way across the row up to the last stitch, work an increase, end stitch and standard return pass. Row 7 to 10 are a repetition of row number 6, so you will be working Tunisian purl stitches across, and at the end of row number 10 you will have 19 loops on the forward pass on your hook. So I'll meet you at the end of return pass of row number 10, and I'll show you how to start working the next section. So I've worked another row of purl stitches for myself, but for you, you would be now at the end of row number 10. So for row number 11, we will basically work the same or similar pattern as we did so far with Tunisian simple stitches and purl stitches with increases on both ends, but now we are going to be working Tunisian knit stitches in between. So you can see this was the first purl section. So you would have 5 rows of purls, and then we swap the purls for Tunisian knit stitches. So I'm going to show you how to work Tunisian knit stitch. We'll first increase, and then we will work Tunisian knit stitch between the front and back vertical bar. So we are going to go in between these 2 bars from front to back, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then between next 2 and next, and so on, all the way across the row up to the end stitch. You will then increase and work your end stitch like so. Now we've got an increase and an end stitch, and you will work standard return pass. So this would be row number 11 in your pattern. So this would be the first row of Tunisian knit stitches. You will then go on and work rows 12 to 14, repeating row 11, and then row 15 is where you will change the color for the first time, and this will be changed on the last 2 loops of your return pass. So I'm going to go ahead and work another row of Tunisian knit stitch, and I'll meet you at the end of the return pass to show you how to change the colors for the next section. I'm at the end of the row. I've got my last 2 loops on the hook. I'll then bring my other color. I make a loop. You can also make a slip knot, it's up to you. I prefer to just make a loop because the knot makes the change, the place where the color is changed, slightly bulky, and I just prefer to just hold the loop, place it on the hook, and then yarn over and pull up a loop with the other color. So now this is where you are going to start working the next panel or the next section of the blanket, basically repeating the Tunisian purl and Tunisian knit section. So on the blanket we are now here in the color of with a plum color or the wine color. So as you can see, we've got another 5 rows of Tunisian purl stitch, and then after that 5 rows of Tunisian knit stitch. So this is the basic repeat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, work few rows of purl and few rows of knit stitch in the blue, in the second color, and then after that I'll explain to you how the pattern progresses up to the center and how we then start decreasing. So we basically, this would be the section up to which we increase on both ends, and then I'll show you how to start decreasing on both ends of the row, so that we are working back to the other corner in the pattern. Okay, so after you finish the first repeat, you will then work a pattern of going back to the main color, which is mustard. So you will work one section of 10 rows, 5 in Tunisian purl stitch and 5 in Tunisian knit stitch in mustard, and then you will go to your complementary color. So you will repeat this few times. For my project, I've had the main color in mustard and then complementary colors in plum, turquoise and silver, and you will then go up to the last repeat here in the middle. So you will end up on the mustard. Then you've got 5 rows of Tunisian simple stitch, and so this would be rows starting from row number 96, which is repetition of row number 5, which is a Tunisian simple stitch row. So you will still work this 96 to 98 if it increases, and then on row number 99, which is also Tunisian simple stitch row in mustard. This is the first row where we start decreasing. So that's what I'm going to show you now, how to work that decrease. So I'm at the end of my forward pass here. So we are going to chain 1 like so, and then we are going to yarn over and pull through 3 instead of pull through 2. So this will be the increase on your left hand side. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3. So we basically decreased 1 stitch here. Then we will work yarn over, pull through 2 all the way across the row up to the last 3 loops on the hook, and this is where we're going to decrease for the right edge of the project, and we will also do yarn over and pull through 3. So I'm almost there now. I've got my last 3 loops on the hook, so I'm just going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through 3, and this is how we decrease on the right edge. And from now on it will be just decrease on each side up to the very last tip on the other side. Okay, so you will then follow the pattern again. If we look at the middle here, where we've got Tunisian simple stitches, so here is the section where we start decreasing. We will then flip the pattern and work a mirror image backwards. So I will then go after Tunisian simple, I will keep the mustard and work Tunisian purl, Tunisian knit, and then I'm going to go and do the alternation of colors. So the last color between the middle section was plum, so I'm going to go back to that one, work mustard, silver, and backwards like this all the way to the other side of the project. So your last row on the other side would be row 195, and this is where you will yarn over and pull through 3, and this will enclose the tip of your project. What I did after, I also worked 3 rows of a single stitch using 6mm crochet hook. This was classic crochet hook, You can also use Tunisian crochet hook without the extension, it's up to you. And this was to create border because I wanted to make the blanket just slightly larger and also to prevent the curling. So you will distribute the single stitches for the first row evenly across the border, just making sure that you will not that the fabric will not pucker or will not be too loose or too tight basically. So you will work 3 rows, and when you turn corners you will work 3 single stitches in the corners, and as mentioned I also added tassels. So for my blanket each corner has got a different tassel, like so. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, that it will inspire you to start working Tunisian crochet if you haven't done it before, or try some new techniques like working corner to corner, swapping colors, and so on. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.